Welcome back to McLeod Stadium here, Langley, BC, as we get you set for the gold medal game between Saskatchewan and British Columbia. Andrew Wadden alongside Adam Forsythe here with you, and we saw a thrilling bronze medal game between Alberta and Manitoba, 31-23 final in that one. Let's see what kind of game we get tonight for us between these two powerhouses.
Gold medal on the line. First time they've held this championship since 2019, and it should be a good one, although a bit of an awkward stumble to start there.
I don't think they were looking to get the ball into the hands of Lucien Verity, the 6'1", 240-pound D lineman, but he gets it nonetheless, and Reed Thompson with the kickoff there for BC. This is a rematch of the 2019 gold medal game that Saskatchewan prevailed in 21-7, so we'll see if BC can avenge that loss and try to win in front of the home crowd. Of course, that one was in British Columbia as well, in Kamloops, but this one here in Langley, and it is a packed house here at McLeod Stadium as Saskatchewan start things off with a run. They try to run it up the middle, just a couple of yards there. And BC with a good start on defense. Yeah,
BC advancing to the gold medal game with a win over Alberta on Sunday night. A thrilling finish there. Quarterback Brandon Bailey not really playing a lot during the game, only took a couple of snaps. Yeah. They brought him in, 32-yard game-winning rush with only 31 seconds left for the victory there. Saskatchewan beating Manitoba by scoring a ton in the second half. They're looking to keep their offense rolling.
And it looks like we've got a run there for Saskatchewan, so they'll move things forward and a little jacked up there. Gabrielle Curry out of Mowat Secondary in Abbotsford, just down the road here.
Just like that, a 3-0, and that's exactly what BC wants. They are going to feed off the energy. Although Saskatchewan has traveled well, there is a sea of green in the Stouds at McLeod Park here, but also, as expected, BC well represented. A sea of orange to our broadcast right, and a lot of BC flags.
We saw a lot of Reed Thompson in the first game for BC, the D-back. He's set to get the return, that is, as he fields it around his own 35 and gets tackled there. Good hit starting from number 24, Ajay Ward.
Nice kick, nice return. There is a flag on the near side of the field that was thrown essentially at the time of the kick, so we'll see what happens. It is offside BC. Much to the delight of the Saskatchewan faithful in attendance.
And they are here as well. I mean, you'd think that this place would be full house for British Columbia. Oh, no. There is a sea of green here as well. So good contingent from Saskatchewan and, of course, from British Columbia as well here. And it's going to be a big one between these two sides. Saskatchewan really flexed their muscles in that first game, a 49-23 win in a game that was 14-all at the halftime, a tale of two halves for Saskatchewan, as you hear the referee call out the penalty call there.
Yeah, so Saskatchewan, looking back at the last game, they employed the two quarterback system, and it worked out quite nicely. They had Nolan Urain, he went 9 for 11, 172 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and then they also had Kyron Holmfin, who was 9 of 11, 133, 3 touchdown passes. When you have two quarterbacks that talented, it is mighty nice.
So the penalty brings the ball back to Saskatchewan and see if they can do something with it here as Nolan Urain tries to get things going and more laundry on the field. The last time we saw British Columbia play, it was a flag fest and already starting to be that way early on.
Yeah, Urain going, sticking to the ground game so far, not really opening things up, but yeah, the fresh set it down, so early mistake by BC on the penalty, and we'll see what this penalty call is.
So they gather together there, the referee squad. Saskatchewan, as mentioned, is the reigning champs in this, but this is a whole new set of rosters, new U16 players here at the West Challenge, presented by Football Canada and hosted by BC Provincial Football Association.
On the defensive side of the ball for BC, the star of game number 1 against Alberta, Wadden, was clearly Jack Roberts. 3.5 tackles, 2 knockdowns, an interception. He was named the defensive player of that game. You expect he will be an X factor in this one, trying to contain Saskatchewan's electric offense.
And Saskatchewan now getting the penalty going against them, so that'll move things back. They'll be on their own 35 here. 1st and 20. And see if Urain can get something going early on for the boys in green as he hands it off. Elaine Penner, first touch today. Penner saw a lot of action in that first game at a Holy Cross, one of the Crusaders there in Saskatoon.
Yeah, he's been playing football pretty much the longest out of anyone on Team Saskatchewan. He started playing when he was 7 years old and stuck with it. the Saskatoon native, looking to impress, and he had a pretty good game on Sunday, leading his team to the gold medal game, and he's obviously hoping to replicate that success tonight.
2nd and 16 from the 39 as Uren surveys the situation. Penner to his left, 3 men in motion. He takes the snap, looks pass. The intended receiver there is Dorian Sifton, and Dorian Sifton with the pass, or with the catch that is, but it's not going to be enough for a first down.
No, but Sifton, a name we didn't say too often in game number 1 for Saskatchewan, so it's nice for him to get a couple of reps in. The Estevan Comprehensive Alex football star. That's the team he plays for in Saskatchewan, and so it brings up a 3rd and 5 on the 50.
All right, so let's see if BC can now field this punt correctly and try to get the ball and get offense going. Perhaps no, they're going to kick it. As it's off the foot of number 40 there, that's Ty Gorniak.
Looks like he went down a little sore there after the boot, but he'll make his way to the sideline. And BC's offense coming onto the field. They employed the 1 quarterback system last game. Chase Witzel, 16-27, 258 yards. He impressed for the most part. It was a bit of a sluggish game between BC and Alberta, but Witzel was clutch down the stretch. His main target, wide receiver Matt Chapman. No, Wadden, not your favorite Toronto Blue Jay, as you said. Matt Chapman, the BC native, 8 receptions, 105 yards. This roster riddled with players from the Okanagan, including Witzel.
Witzel, of course, had the majority of snaps. Bailey had 3 snaps, though. Brandon Bailey, the biggest being that 32-yard run that got them the the score that put them ahead late in the game with 31 seconds to go. But Witzel will see the majority of the snaps in this game as they hand it off and pick up a couple of yards.
Yeah, good start for BC. Again, just getting the ground game moving a little bit. Test the Saskatchewan defense, see what they're going to bring to the table, what their systems are. These two teams obviously have not faced each other, and these players have not faced each other in a long time. But again, a rematch of the gold medal game. These players obviously not involved in the U16 showdown. They were youngins at the time.
Yes.
They are itching to bring a gold to home soil. Saskatchewan wanted to head back to the prairies with a gold medal around their neck.
So Witzel at 2nd and 7, got that little sidearm action, tries to get it to his intended receiver there. That's Max Ryder out of Kelowna secondary, and wasn't able to make the catch there. Remember that sidearm action, though? Witzel and Ryder, both teammates at Kelowna secondary, and weren't able to connect there.
Yeah, he's definitely got the most unique release of all the quarterbacks, but as you kind of saw as a trend taking over the NFL a little bit, you can kind of get underneath the arms of those defenders who are encroaching on you. Their arms up, hands in your face, get a little sidearm whip. And it worked well for Witzel on Sunday. Hoping it works well for him tonight.
So Thompson back to kick. Reed Thompson does a little bit of everything here for this BC team. The utility player, if you will, as it's fielded there just around the 55-yard line. That's number 26, Liam Platt, the defensive back out of Regina, and he takes it into BC territory.
Platt was pretty prominent on the weekend game in the win over Manitoba, hoping to factor in as well today. But Manitoba, pretty decent field, or Saskatchewan, pretty decent field coverage to start. Still scoreless, though. 7 minutes left in the opening quarter. The ball on the BC 48.
So Uren now gets set, hands it off, and that's quickly gobbled up there. Nice play by number 7, Brady Schutz.
There is a flag on the far side of the field. And again, we're up in the broadcast booth. There are some coaching staffs up here, and the coaching staff definitely saw something. And so did the refs. It's against BC.
And that one's got to hurt. That one's got to hurt because that's mental right there. The illegal substitution.
So BC's penalties got them in trouble against Alberta. They should have closed that game out long before they finally won. However, more penalty trouble early on in the first quarter for BC. This is now 2 key penalties to keep Saskatchewan's drive going.
Saskatchewan with Uren under center.
Yeah.
You're stuck on the Manitoba still.
I think it's something about the dark green. I picture Saskatchewan's light green.
There you go. We'll come around on you. As Penner in the backfield there with Uren. And yeah, Saskatchewan. You know they love the green in Saskatchewan, and BC representing in the orange. Just like the local pro team here, the BC Lions. This quarterback here, Nolan Uren, trying to mimic Nathan Rourke, if you will, Canadian QB. Doing work in the CFL. Right there, there's a pick, though. Oh, my, no, it comes out. Oh, you're going to want to have that one back. Boy, just squirts right out of the fingertips of number 11. That's Max Lang out of Duncan. Looked like he had a pick there, but wasn't able to haul it in.
Oh, his eyes lit up there. He should have had that catch. He'll be regretting that one. But, yeah, he had every opportunity. Great read on the play, though, to jump in front of the passing route. We do have an injured player from Saskatchewan down, so the trainer out to tend to them. Oh, what a read. We'll obviously have some regrets they couldn't hang on. That could have been a big turning point early on.
I'll have to make a correction there. That wasn't Max Lang. That's Jarrell Sahay, who's out of Kelowna as well, Rutland secondary.
The Rutland team have those baby blue helmets with a little yellow trim on them, and they're pretty noticeable all the way up here in the broadcast booth. There's just so many of them. The other one to keep their eye on is the punter, but also heavily involved in the game is Reed Thompson.
Yeah, Reed
also
Thompson.
Kick returner. He kind of does it all.
Well, it looks like they got a punt here. Oh, and they'll try to rate to Thompson, and Thompson's just going to let it get through. And they're going to pick up the single point.
A Rouge on the board, and Saskatchewan takes the early 1-0 lead. 6 minutes left in the opening quarter. BC's offense back on the field, and Chase Witzel looking to perform some magic and get a spark for his team.
So Saskatchewan scratches the scoreboard first, 1-0. 6:09 to go here in the first quarter. Gold medal game, it's the rematch from 2019. Saskatchewan looking to go back-to-back here in the U16 West Challenge presented by Football Canada. And our hosts here, BC Provincial Football Association, gracious host. Beautiful stadium here. The home of the Langley Rams.
You see how much this challenge and this tournament means to the teams. Like in between the games, we were down on the conference level, and you saw Alberta. Like they won the bronze, and that was a gold for them. They were so happy.
Big smiles.
They bounced back, and so you know that these players pride is on the line, and they want the hardware.
Here's Witzel now. As he surveys the situation, scrambles out to his right. He's going to look run, try to go up the middle. He slides there. Picks up a couple of yards.
Bit of an awkward-looking slide there. He's lucky his ankle to get caught underneath him, but he kind of shakes it off and bounces back up. I like how he evaded the pressure, though, kind of spun out of it and managed just to pick up a few yards in what very well could have been a sack.
Cash Amos, the running back out of Belmont Secondary over on the island there, from Souk, BC, in the backfield.
And a couple of Vancouver Island members on Team BC.
Do I pull out the island board? Do I sing it? No, I'll just we'll put that one away.
We'll save it for when they win.
All right. So Witzel looking over to the sideline, wondering what's going on as the referees come up. They don't like the spot from the looks of it. Yeah, just move it a yard back.
Game number 1 was blue skies, but the clouds have kind of rolled in here in Langley, out in the Fraser Valley, just outside downtown Vancouver. Looks like the rain should hold off for this one, though.
So Witzel, as Amos spots something there, but Witzel under pressure, able to get it off. Beautiful catch there, and guess who? Matt Chapman.
Yeah, it's the Chapman-Witzel-Kelowna connection right there. He found him across the middle, the big man going up and getting it. Great job by Witzel to get that off because he had a ton of pressure in his face. Took a bit of a hit as well, but managed to stay on his feet. Nice play for BC, resulting in a first down as they approach midfield.
Now, Chapman, he's only listed at 5'9", but he plays a lot bigger than that, 135 pounds.
The steel line from Superbad, it's the hops.
Absolutely. Love the hops. In my beer as well.
Yes.
Witzel now in a bad snap, and he passes it off to Chapman, who able to cut up and in. Might have got a yard, but boy, he did well just to get that yard.
And one of those kind of not broken plays, but a snap that isn't as clean as you'd expect. But they managed to still at least get it back to the line of scrimmage and avoid some serious damage. Nice play by Witzel, too, to not panic there and get that ball to Chapman.
2nd and 10 now, yeah. So right at the line of scrimmage.
BC has dialed up here. We haven't seen Witzel go too far downfield, nothing beyond like a 10-yard throw. Maybe this is the opportunity where he tries to find one of his downfield targets.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger. He likes to throw sidearm, as we mentioned. And he's got a man in motion there, a few men in motion, a little diversion going on there as Logan Wagger. And it's going to be a false start for BC.
That'll back him up even more, so the downfield threat will have to be a little bit further if they want that first down marker. One of the guys that played a fairly prominent role in Sunday's victory as a receiver was Max Ryder out of Kelowna Secondary School. 5'11", 150 pounds. He's the number 13. That maybe is an intended target here.
So I'll see what Witzel's got here at 2nd and 15, ball on the 43. It's got Penner to his left and 3 men in motion. Looking pass and pumps once, goes to the sideline and overthrows his intended target. That was Kareem Mohammed from Richmond Minor Football. 5'11", 140 receiver. Wasn't able to get that one in a pass that Witzel probably would like to have back.
Yeah, just overset a little bit. No chance for his receiver on the far sideline. That brings up 3rd and 15 on the 43, so they'll bring on the punt unit. Witzel not quite as sharp as he was in the game against Alberta. Still early in the game, and as we've kind of seen across the board in the 3 games so far here at McLeod Park, there's a feel-and-out process for both teams where first quarters have been a little slow, a little sloppy perhaps, a little lack of communication, a lot of penalties, and that's obviously been the trend here in the gold medal game.
Ooh, Thompson was good to get that one off. Had a few hands up in his face as it's picked up there at the 42-yard line, but just steps out of bounds. So they'll start off on their, looks to be their own 42, Saskatchewan. 1-0 for the home team. So Saskatchewan is the home team because they are the number 1 seed going into this U16 West Challenge. BC, the number 2 seed from losing in the gold medal game, silver medalist back in 2019. So things played out the same as they did in 2019 in terms of the bronze medal game, with Alberta winning that one over Manitoba. Let's see how things can turn out, that is, in this game, with BC looking to get that gold medal away from Saskatchewan.
Nolan Urain still under center.
So Urain now goes to the sideline, and that's picked up. That's caught. Beautiful reception there, Rogan Pipko, and we said his name a lot in the first game, looking like he's going to get things started again in this gold medal game.
Nice catch by Pipko on the far sideline and managing to haul it in, bringing his feet in bounds. Nice catch. As you mentioned, he was very, very prominent in the Sunday victory over Manitoba. The White City resident played football for 8 years. He's a member of the Saskatchewan Selects, and he was part of the 2021 U16 Team South Championship.
Urain hands the ball off on the end around there on the sweep, but Gabrielle Curry says, no, not in my house, for a tackle for a loss.
Stunning that Curry only is listed at 180 pounds because he plays a lot bigger than that. That was a bone-crushing hit. You feel it up in the press box. Great hit by BC's defense.
Still haven't heard much from Jack Roberts, the linebacker, the defensive stud for BC. See if he factors into this game as well. Number 33 in your program, and it's a botched snap. This is going to be fantastic for British Columbia, as that's going to now be a 2-0. They're going to have to punt it away here.
This was a common factor in Sunday's showdown. Saskatchewan having a lot of problems getting the ball back to their quarterbacks, and it's, again, causing some havoc early on here.
So Thompson, the only receiver that's back on the punt here, and
that brings up a 3rd and 28.
As he fields it right around the 26-yard line, and he's got a little daylight trying to cut up and in. He does. He's got a man to beat. There's a flag on the play, and he drags a couple of guys up over the 55-yard line right in to Saskatchewan territory.
Flag on the play. I don't know if it is a hold on the BC side of things. That would be my guess, but nice run by him. Great punt as well, so he had to back up a few steps for him to get the momentum. BC.
Oh, that goes against British Columbia. So A few steps forward and a few steps back for BC as they trail 1-0 here. 1:16 to go in the first Q of the gold medal game of the U16 West Challenge here on Football Canada's YouTube.
So it's been a theme. BC and penalties. We saw so many of them on Sunday against Alberta, and it really cost them. Like, they should have blown out Alberta based on how they were playing, but penalty after penalty after penalty, especially in the second half, they just mounted. And again, BC has been definitely on the side of a lot more penalty calls than this one, some undisciplined calls, and so far it doesn't cost them. They're only down 1-0, but they need to get things going and hopefully have the refs keep their flags in the pocket.
Yes. Let the guys determine this game. Let the players determine it a little bit. A little too much laundry the last time BC played against Alberta there. And as they pitch it off, that's Ryder Quintana, the 5'5" running back.
There's a big hit on the far side. That gets some cheers from the Saskatchewan crowd.
5'5", 135 pounds out of White Rock. His team is in North Surrey.
Yeah, definitely doesn't play like he's 5'5". He embraced that hit right there, and that drives things forward. Brings up about a 2nd and 3 on the 48. So a nice chunk of change there. You think there's nerves factoring in on both sides here? It's a gold medal game. They're feeling each other out. This is potentially one of the final plays of the opening quarter. Both teams looking a little nervous.
Look at this, Quintana they fake it to him, and a nice play by Witzel. Let's see what kind of spot they give him, though. And it's not very generous from the looks of it.
Wow, where he started to slide, I suppose. The marker is essentially right along our broadcast viewpoint. It looked like he got there, but they marked him a yard or two short. There is a flag on the far side of the field as well.
So referees converging there. We'll see what they have to say for this.
And based on the trend, I think maybe BC, another infraction.
Yeah, could be. So they're calling for third down here. Boy, that spot is... No penalty on the play. Third down, but from that marker...
It brings up...
That is...
That brings some oohs and ahs from the coaching staff. BC up here in the press box.
That looks to be at least a yard off, but
they're going to
go for it. So BC showing some stones here, and that's offside. Yeah, it's going to be a free play for BC as they whip it out to the side. It's not going to matter here as two Saskatchewan defenders converge on the receiver. That's number 23, Kareem Muhammad. Gavin Packman right in his face, the Regina native, but that was a free play for BC as it looks like it was offside for Saskatchewan.
And what should have been the final play of the first quarter, and Saskatchewan was in there pretty quick, so I think this is an easy decision for the referees. But if the play does stand, they drove him back pretty far.
And we haven't said his number just yet, and kind of looking for his number out there right now, but number 41 for Saskatchewan. Nitro Ice Hana, who had himself a game in that win over Manitoba. 8 tackles, 2 sacks in that game. So keep an eye out for 41, although as I sort of glance up and down the sidelines, I'm wondering, could Nitro Ice perhaps be put on ice in this game?
Okay, what? He was a very integral part, and we have not seen him so far.
All right, so Witzel with a fresh set of downs here from...
Final play of the first quarter.
His own 53. Goes out the shotgun, looking to pass over the middle. It's a good pass, but just over the receiver's head. That was Wagger, the Cloverdale football product. Couldn't haul that one in, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for BC as they start the second Q.
Yeah, Witzel's control a little bit off. He is throwing over his receivers' heads by like 1 or 2 feet. You just got to rein it a little bit. I don't know if it's that nervous energy or it's adrenaline.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of like lining up a golf shot after a couple of birdies in a row and you sail. Oh yeah. What is this birdie talk?
What are these birdies that you speak of? By the way, I see him. There he is right there. Nitro Ice Hana strutting around, number 41 for Saskatchewan. Circle that guy because he is an absolute shark out there, and he senses blood in the water when he's on defense.
You could tell he is one of the best players in Saskatchewan, and on the Manitoba side of things is Brian DeJuiced. And the two sides, they had a mutual respect for each other. Sorry, that's Alberta. They have a mutual respect for each other, though. You can see them talking between the games or on the track. The stars find the stars.
Absolutely. Yeah, Brian DeJuiced, a standout defender for Alberta. Going to keep an eye on that guy as he goes through his high school career. So Witzel, now his receiver might have been offside there, and he got away with one. Matt Chapman looking for him. Oh, it gets broken up there. Ward with the play. A.J. Ward with the nice breakup.
Yeah, I think that probably was got away with an offside there.
Yes.
Chapman across the middle, that's a play they've tried twice now, and it has not worked both times. And that was a nice defensive play by Saskatchewan. Brings up 3rd and 10, so the punt crew comes on for BC. BC's offense not quite clicking yet, and you would hope they figure it out sooner rather than later if they want a shot at the gold. Very similar to the start we saw in the bronze medal showdown,
absolutely.
where they're just kind of, you almost want to say, your rustiness or... But hopefully, as we saw in the bronze medal finish, 4th quarter fireworks. Hopefully we just get to it in the 2nd quarter.
So Thompson kicks that one away. Platt was there to receive it. But I'll tell you what, Saskatchewan special teams, they are getting close to that pigskin.
Yeah, you can tell Saskatchewan's right on the cusp. And they started slow in Sunday's game against Manitoba, and then they just came out guns a-blazing in the second half, and it was the best half of football by a team we've seen in the last week.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you know that they're capable of it, and BC should be worried that they haven't seen it yet, and they haven't put anything up on the board.
So they go run right off the bat there, and that's our first look at Kieran Offen. We saw Offen in the first game, him and Uren split the duties, so to speak. Both of them went 9 for 11 in the game. Hoffen, that is, went for 133 yards and 3 touchdowns, where Uren was 9 for 11, 172 with 2 touchdowns. So a couple of good pivots for Saskatchewan in the game. Both getting snaps now. Hoffen hands it off, and he's right at the line. Oh, it looked like he was going to try to beat his man, as Austin Relova was there, but they're able to take him down with a little bit of help from his buddy on defense.
Yeah, number 87, Xander Tabora, he finished things off after he saw the tasty opportunity to bring that tackle down. And yeah, it's interesting with Kyron Homefen back in the quarterback situation. Like, was it the end of the 2nd quarter? Are they just going to alternate, even though it is a gold medal game, or is it more situational? Right now, it appears they're going to alternate. In fact, here's another quarterback. They have Zach. Oh, that's it. A punt situation.
Punt there, yeah.
But they did have a quarterback out of the field, Zaid O'Shaughnessy there.
So no yards. So Thompson's just going to pick it up there, and he'll go out just around the 46-yard line of Saskatchewan. So some good field position for BC to start here.
Yeah, I looked up and saw number 8. I'm like, whoa, Zaid O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, no, he's not in just yet.
But yeah, he's out there, a little cleanup special teams duty. BC needs to get things going here. They have not really had anything in terms of yardage, whether it be the run game or the pass game. Very, very quiet, and Witzel overthrowing his targets. He needs to rein it in.
Both teams sort of in that feeling out mode here. We've seen a bit of Matt Chapman, one of the stars of BC's offense. Still haven't seen anything from Nitro Ice Hana, but you know he's going to make his mark in this game at some point. Yeah,
running backs for BC. You got Cash Amos, who we've mentioned a couple times. Yep. Ryder Quintana was really good on Sunday. I'm expecting him to kind of break out. Dante Meyer has been very quiet, but somebody's got to step up for BC here if it's not going to be Witzel.
Yeah, they got Meyer right now in the backfield with Witzel. Meyer out of Prince George secondary. And they look past, and it's a quick out there looking for Max Ryder, but just botched throw from Witzel, and he knows it.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit off. He just doesn't seem to be himself. He didn't have the confidence. There was that swagger we talked about in the first half from BC on Sunday.
Shaking his arm there a little bit.
Yeah.
Something maybe to keep on top of. His big O lineman, Carter Martin, had some words with him. Looks like Witzel didn't want to have any of it.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. He was shaking it off and looking at the sideline.
Carter Martin out of White Rock, 5'11", 220 though. And I just think of this, U16 How big is that kid going to get?
I like Max Ryder on the near side here. Oh, not off that fumbled snap.
Witzel now on a broken play, and there's really nothing they can do as Saskatchewan gets the tackle for a loss. Yeah, 41 was in there, but a few other in green shirts were there as well, and this is going to set up a 3rd and 24 for BC, and they are just going to have to boot this one away.
Yeah, again, Witzel just not really himself quite yet, and I think, honestly, the intended target was going to be 13, Max Ryder on the near side going down the middle. You could see that Witzel's eyes were focused there, and he almost took his eyes off the ball on the snap, which caused him to drop it, and then it was panic situation.
So, 3rd and 19 here as Thompson looks to kick it away, and it's not a great one. Bit of can of corn there as it goes out right around the 44, 43-yard line. We'll see where they spot it.
So BC really struggling to get anything going on offense, but at least their defense is holding things up right now, because if Saskatchewan starts clicking, BC could be in trouble. This one could be over in a hurry. Yeah,
if you're BC, you want to strike while the iron's hot with these guys, and I know they haven't really heated it up just yet, but you don't want to let a sleeping giant like Saskatchewan sleep for too long.
Well, and that's where we saw Saskatchewan alternating quarterbacks. BC, they have Witzel, but maybe we see a little bit more of Brandon Bailey, who had the game-winning rush touchdown last game.
So Honfam back under center once again as he hands it off. This one into the hands of Levi Koenig, our first call of his name from North Battleford.
Yeah, he's only been playing football for 3 years, Levi Koenig, and it's pretty impressive what we've seen over the last 2 games for him, especially. 3 years, you're pretty relatively new to the sport.
5'6", 155 pounds. Sets up 2nd down. 7 to go.
Big play here for BC. They need to get something going. They can't keep relying on their defense.
Yeah. So Honfam hands it off. Once again into the hands of Koenig, and Koenig tries to get closer to the first down, but gets run right back. We'll have to see where they spot it, but check out number 8, Gabrielle Curry, jacked up, 6'1", 180 pounds, out of Abbotsford, D lineman.
Yeah, the Moet secondary stud, trying to get the fans fired up because the BC defense is doing their job right now. And yeah, it apparently works because we got some chants going on from the BC faithful.
Gabrielle Curry playing as big as Mount Curry right now. As they look to punt it away. They got it. It's a block. It's Winsfield that blocks it. Goes right into the hands of number 33, and he takes it down into the end zone. Yes, he does.
Jack Roberts again.
Jack Roberts, the Lord Tweedsmuir product, puts 6 on the board for BC as it's 6-1 now, looking for that extra point.
Wow, Roberts just right time, right place, benefit of a great block on a bit of a weird delayed punt. You don't know if that was a broken play or a trick play, but it did not work. And Roberts, who was a stud on the weekend, being the defensive player of the game, well, he's making a case for it again early with the 6 points on special teams.
And I might have sold Kieran Hamilton short because I called out Chase Witzel, but it looked like that was number 12, Kieran Hamilton, the linebacker out of Kamloops that was able to get the block, and then it was scooped up there by Roberts, taken into the end zone, and BC with the first touchdown of the game.
And that's what happens when the offense is struggling. The defense and the special teams have to step up, and BC did just that. Saskatchewan left reeling.
So we'll see if Thompson can kick the extra point, and he does. 7-1 now. BC taking the early lead in this one.
You want to bring in?
And we got a special guest here joining us now in the booth as the president of Football Canada himself, Jim Mullen, has joined us. And Jim, what we saw there, a nice little play from British Columbia as they get up 7-1. But more than anything, I think it's just great to have this event back after a couple of years off and not being able to do it since 2019.
First of all, these walk-in interviews during a broadcast, maybe the most annoying feature of a broadcast, so I'm going to apologize to the purists out there for that.
I can pull you up a seat if you need it here. There you go.
The second part is it's just nice to have any kind of events happening after what we've been through over the last 2+ years. It's nice to feel that this is getting back to normal, and it's great to see some quality football being played at this U16 level.
Absolutely. With the couple of years off now, and what we've seen with football across Canada, are we seeing the kids kind of come back around, start playing the game again?
Well, without question, there was a drop-off during COVID just simply because there were some provinces that weren't up and active.
Yeah.
Our numbers dropped off significantly. The thing that we were surprised about was we planned pessimistically for a very slow recovery. We've already outstripped that by about 30%. Our numbers as we go through this year are projected to match those numbers of 2015. So not only have we recovered, but we've discovered that there's a pent-up demand to get out there and play, whether it's flag football, whether it's tackle football, whether it's boys, whether it's girls.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you see these U16 players out here, what sort of comes to mind right away? Because the athleticism is what really stands out to me.
Well, one thing that comes to mind right away is that I couldn't have kept up with these guys back when I was their age. It tells you something about the investment that coaches make, that associations make. Yeah. That provincial sporting bodies make in developing these players at this level, and the level of dedication that they have. That's what translates to something that is actually, as we saw on the first night, and by the way, it was a joy listening to you two guys call that those two games a couple of nights ago. Something that's really entertaining.
Absolutely, and we saw that thrilling finish in the BC-Alberta game. Then we saw it again here in the bronze medal game as well. Looked like Manitoba was down and out. They were able to claw their way in. Couldn't get over the mountaintop as it's now 1st and 10 as BC picked up a penalty on that play. And it looks like they're going to pick up another penalty on this play. Anderson Bicknell out of Vernon with the tackle. But, as you see these young players out here, and of course, we marvel at the athleticism, the size of some of these kids. One of the biggest things that's also standing out is how well they travel right now. Like, look at this crowd we have at McLeod Stadium. It's just been fantastic to see, and it's got to be a joy, not only for the kids, but also for the parents.
Well, it tells you something about the dedication of the families and the investment that they have to make to participate at a provincial level. I know both the provincial organizations, so on here.
BC, that penalty declined. We got illegal contact. BC, that the player penalty for PLS.
Oh, it's been the story for British Columbia. They just continue to rack up penalties. They did it in the semifinal game, doing it again here.
Yeah, we're talking about the dedication of families, dedication of athletes too. We're not an Olympic sport, so we have to have a tip of the hat to athletes with families and older athletes, like our women's team, who's going off to Finland that has to raise their own money. Some of these women are paying up to $4,000 to represent our country. We have to do a better job of making sure they're covered there.
Hopfound out of the shotgun to Pipko, and Pipko takes it up for the first down. Saskatchewan starting to cook with gas right now, and Adam and I were talking about it, and as you would know, Jim, through your many years working in football in Canada, you don't want to let Saskatchewan get off the mat when you got them down.
No, especially when they get on a roll, and they've certainly got a couple of very talented receivers in this mix. Kudos to the Saskatchewan coaching staff rotating quarterbacks in and getting efficiency out of both of them.
So Hoffman now in the shotgun. He's got Penner in the backfield. And he swings out to his right, looks left. The intended receiver there, number 88, Ty Fiddick-Andrews, who had himself a good game, 3 touchdowns in that win over Manitoba. For somebody that's watching this right now and wondering, how do I get into this sort of provincial programs like this, whether it's through the community football or high school football, how do they get involved?
They can get involved by being recruited through their PSO. It's a matter of coming out to tryout camps when they're posted. Like, for instance, Football Saskatchewan has something up on their site as they lead into this for player evaluation. The same with the BCPFA. There's another Eastern Challenge going on as we speak.
Hoff on there with the pass over to Cameron Kluwer. And Kluwer there picking up another first down for Saskatchewan. You spoke about flag football as well. And, maybe some people are not playing the tackle game, but it seems like a lot of people are really getting involved in flag football. And it's great because it just brings more athletes to the table.
Yeah, it certainly does, and it does especially for kids under the age of 12. It's a great introductory tool. I'll continue with that flag point in a moment here as Saskatchewan gets this play
So
up.
Hoffman with the shotgun. He's looking right, looking to the end zone. His intended receiver there, again, Fedek Andrews, and why not? When you got 3 touchdowns in the last game, why not go to the guy that knows how to haul them in?
And part of the great recovery for Football Canada and across the country has been with flag registration. That's been a big bonus for us. On the 11th, I'm going down to Birmingham, Alabama, where I'm chairing a meeting for IFAF, which is the international body for American football. The IOC is making a series of presentations there. We're trying to get on the road to being included in the LA 2028 games for flag football. And, it looks good so far. It's not confirmed. We should know early in 2024. But becoming an Olympic sport on at least one side of the ledger is huge for this sport in this country.
So you see Kieran Hoffman, the quarterback, get pulled out, got a little banged up. Looks like injury to somewhere in his lower back there. And when you talk about, Canadian quarterbacks, and we've seen a couple here for Saskatchewan's to bring it in, I mean, just talk about that resurgence, so to speak, with like Nathan Rourke and Michael O'Connor and Trey Ford sort of representing for Canada under center. We'll get to that in just a moment here as we see our first look at Zaid O'Shaughnessy. And O'Shaughnessy, the lefty, and his first throw is a touchdown. Fedek Andrews, yep, he's got another one. Put 6 on the board for Saskatchewan. That's the 3rd quarterback that Saskatchewan has now played in the game, and sort of dovetails perfectly into what we were talking about.
And he has the best QBR on the field and in this tournament right now.
Yes, absolutely.
1 for 1 and into the end zone. It's been a great resurgence for Canadian talent in the Canadian Football League, and of course the NFL and the NCAA as well. There's 203 Canadian athletes in the NCAA. The CJFL is in the process of expanding. U Sports has bigger rosters these days because of COVID and carrying older players. So there's more opportunities at the high performance level for Canadian football players than there's ever been in tackle football. When it comes to the quarterbacks, Nathan Rourke, I've seen every one of his games on video, producing Crown Countdown U and now Crown Gridiron Nation on TSN. And, it was great meeting him, his brother, and his family at the second Cornish Trophy presentation at the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. You knew this kid had a great upside. I actually thought that on NFL draft day he'd be signed as an undrafted free agent. Very surprised that he didn't, but it's fortunate for all of us that follow the Canadian Football League, and for some of us who happen to be BC Lions fans, that he's doing what he's doing right now. Michael O'Connor is his backup, and we know what he's capable of. Watching him at UBC. And Trey Ford, what can you say about this guy? Purely Canadian developed all the way through. Really led a resurgence at the University of Waterloo. Some people marked that Waterloo program off as dead a couple of years ago. Some people suggested it should be shut down. Trey Ford and his brother Tyrell, along with the coaching staff there and the team, managed to restructure it to a point where they are a competitor now, and that's part of it. As much as you see him with the Edmonton Elks right now, that's also part of his legacy.
Yeah, and a program like Waterloo, you're absolutely right. When I was working with you and CIS Countdown back in the day and Crown Countdown U as well, that was a program that it looked almost to be dead, and you're right, the Ford brothers able to pick them up off the mat as we see a different quarterback under center for British Columbia. That's Brandon Bailey, who was the game winner, really, the 32-yard run that he did with 31 seconds left in the game for BC to be able to get over on Alberta. And we got something happening here. We got a turnover, it looks like. Yeah, it's going back the other way, so Saskatchewan. Before we let you go here, Jim, just tell us about Football Canada in terms of what you guys offer for the kids and the website, and perhaps how these kids can sort of pick up and learn things through the training programs that Football Canada offers.
Well, you can check out everything that we have over at footballcanada.com. I think some of you may have been looking for footballcanada.com as you went and found this this game on YouTube. We have training, we have background on the organization, we have background on our national teams. Everything that you need is over at footballcanada.com.
Whoa, Bailey just with the zip there, but that is picked off right there. Jay Ward with the interception, a little gallop even as he takes it there. And Jim, thanks for joining, but I mean, some great action while we were just calling this here, and this looks like it's just going to get better and better, but congratulations on getting the U16 West Challenge back up and going, and we'll be looking forward to more events like this in the future.
Yeah, and we've got the Canada Cup coming up in Kelowna a little bit later this month as well. So, and by the way, I expect this broadcast team to meet me after this game for a huddle up.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's the best way I can put it. Okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. That's Jim Mullen, the president of Football Canada, taking some time to join us here in the booth. And boy, Force, as you get back in here, I hope you were paying attention there, because at first I thought there was some sort of turnover for BC. Turns out it wasn't. Not only that, where did that arm come from, Brandon Bailey? I know it got picked off, but did you see the zip on that?
I mean, we knew he had running skills based on the heroics of Sunday night, but what a throw, unfortunately picked off, headed the other way. Saskatchewan calling timeout here, but yeah, that was a hectic 4-minute match. I picked the perfect time to dip out there, so I could just be a fan and watch. I leave it to you guys. But yeah, that was some entertaining football both ways.
And of course, check out Jim Mullen on TSN, Crown Gridiron Nation. Always during the football season, get you updated on what's happening with Canadians across and university football in Canada, and of course down south in NCAA. As Jim mentioned, over 200 Canadians representing in the NCAA right now. And Nathan Rourke, a name that he mentioned and we talked about, the stellar quarterback of the BC Lions coming out of that Ohio University program, a two-time Cornish Award winner for the top Canadian in the NCAA. Starting to see some of these Canadians make their way into playing for powerhouse conferences like the SEC, Big Ten. Canada really starting to make its mark in football as Hoffman is back under center. And he tosses it out the sideline, and he's going to throw an interception. And this one could be a house call. Put the afterburners on. No, he can't. Taken out. Braden Wolf with the tackle. And boy, what a pick right there. That's Jarrell Sahaye from Kelowna, Rutland Senior Secondary with the pick. So they go pick for pick there between BC and Saskatchewan.
Surprise, surprise, another Rutland Senior Secondary player stepping up in the clutch. What a pick, and yeah, good play by the Saskatchewan offense to get back and perhaps save a touchdown there, because he had the afterburners on. Pick for pick, a bit of an interesting call by Saskatchewan to throw Holmfin back in after we just saw where'd he come from? Number 8, Zaid O'Shaughnessy throwing a touchdown minutes ago while you were interviewing. And, man, this is – where was this in the first quarter? This is hectic.
And Zaid O'Shaughnessy, by the way, this is the first time we even saw him throw a football. 6'1", 170. As Chase Witzel now tries to go downfield, and he makes the catch! Matt Chapman, oh my, he continues to dazzle. Number 14 in your program, doing big things for BC.
Man, this is opening up here. This is entertaining football. Gold medal on the line, and the two teams are playing like it. Witzel overthrowing his targets a couple of times in the first quarter. He is on point in the second. Very nice throw. Chapman with the reception, and that brings them all the way down to about the 10-11 yard line.
So let's see if BC can do something with it here. They're down 8-7. There's 2 minutes to go. Second cue. Gold medal game, U16 West Challenge presented by Football Canada. Witzel now out of the shotgun once again. Slings one over. Matt Chapman. Oh my. Another beautiful catch there. 14 continues to just bring the offense down for BC.
Again, Witzel throwing just a hair too high on these throws, but it doesn't matter when you got Chapman's hands. He arched his back, leaned back while he had pressure on the backside of him. Arches back, brings it down, takes the hit, and right away BC is now on the 5 yard line. 2nd and 5 with 1:30 left in the opening half.
All right, see if Witzel can get his team back into the end zone. He's got Mayer there in the backfield with him, who swings out to his right, but he's looking left, and he can't connect with his intended receiver there. That's number 80, Logan Wagger, Cloverdale football product.
Again, just leading his receiver just a touch too much. Wagger had a long way to go to get to that corner of the end zone. That wasn't going to work out for him, so they're going to bring the field goal unit in on a 3rd and 4 on the 5-yard line. So, in theory, a chip shot field goal here, but we'll find out shortly.
60-degree wedge?
Yeah, well, not my 60-degree wedge. That one stays in the bag.
Gotcha.
Big opportunity, though, for BC to take the lead. They would love to go into halftime up on Saskatchewan.
So Brandon Bailey will hold it there as Thompson tries to kick it up and through, and he does. Put 3 more on the board for BC. They take the lead. It's 10-8 with 1:21 to go in the first half.
Man, let's recap the last 5-6 minutes here. You had Zaid O'Shaughnessy stepping into the game, throwing a beautiful touchdown pass to Fedek Andrews from Regina. A couple of interceptions back and forth, and then the Chapman connection with his quarterback. Unbelievable, going all the way down the field, finding the end zone, and, the end zone for a field goal, I should say. But 10-8 score with $1:21 left at the half. Pretty entertaining, even though it's not high scoring. Very entertaining football game.
I'll tell you what, I know Chase Witzel is going to get the majority of the snaps here, and we will see Brandon Bailey at some point again here in this game. But between Brandon Bailey and Zaid O'Shaughnessy on the other side for Saskatchewan, I kind of want to see both those guys again, because I know Bailey threw the pick, but that had some zip on it. And, of course, O'Shaughnessy with that touchdown pass as well as they hand the ball off to Penner. Penner runs it up the left side. That's going to be a first down for Saskatchewan.
Great run by Penner. He's had a couple of notable runs where he's picked up some solid first downs on 1st and 10s. But yeah, if you're Team Saskatchewan, you're definitely displaying the best of the U16 quarterbacks right now. Zaid O'Shaughnessy, Kyron Holmfint, and Nolan Urain. You can go with any of them. And they're all viable options right now, and Saskatchewan is showing that.
Well, they continue with number 15, Kieran Hoffman, as Penner once again in the backfield, and they look like they're going to go to him once again. But, oh, look at this. 2 BC defenders. That's Revola and Tabora once again teaming up on the tackle.
A little Prince George Kelowna connection there. Nice tackle, bringing him down for what would be a loss, close to it. Maybe right back to the line of scrimmage. No, that's a 2-yard loss. So clock is ticking. They're going to have to march down the field, come up with a big play here if they want to get the lead back entering halftime.
Tabora and Relova, Kelowna and Prince George connection there. North and east? Southeast?
Oh, no. Don't question my geography live on air. This is a disaster waiting to happen. Only thing worse would be throwing math questions my way.
Oh, boy, no. I was told there will be no math. It's hard enough having to count up the yards that they are away here, but I see 3rd and 12 now. Maybe even a little bit more. 3rd and 15, perhaps.
Yeah, unless there's a massive swing of events, this looks like BC will enter halftime with a 10-8 lead and be 2 quarters away from a gold medal.
I like this huddle that Mullen was talking about, by the way, at the end of the game. We'll have to
I'm intrigued.
See if we can get ourselves in that. Saskatchewan looks like they're going to punt it away here. 28 seconds to go in the half. And BC getting represented out there by a big contingent of fans, but Saskatchewan doing their part as well. We got a good little battle going on here in the gold medal game. So Saskatchewan now punts it away, and they get it away clean. It's a good one as well, as Thompson looks to field it, and it's just going to go, no, it stays in bounds.
Ooh, that was very close to being touched.
He picks it up and able to get a little bit of positive yards out of it, but BC will start from what looks like their own 47-yard line, 48 or so.
Yeah, there is a flag down on the far side of the field. But yeah, a risky bounce there just kind of went right past his hands. That could have been disaster for British Columbia.
So it looks like it'll be right around the... Yeah, so a 5-yard penalty. They'll bump that one up. They'll be on their own 51 now.
So it's just the opportunity where you see, it looks like Witzel's still in there, but maybe that's where you throw Bailey and test his arm strength, see what happens.
I was intrigued by that zip. I mean, I know it went right into the defender's arms, but boy, did it come out quick.
See what options they have here. Maybe they're kind of stacked on the far right side.
Witzel there with Mayer.
Oh.
And he drops it a little bit, so he decides just to take it himself. Runs up, and we got a horse collar perhaps? No. And he got
slow to get up.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be out, and they're calling him over there. He got tossed there and didn't quite catch the number of that truck. But BC players are just, hey, no, guys, we know that's my quarterback. But you got to take care of him.
Yeah. But you know what? Witzel would prefer getting back with no 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, absolutely. So Witzel looks like he's going to be all right.
I think if that was a clean snap there, he was looking down the right side. He had 3 receivers in full speed down the right sidelines, but it was just a bit of a bobbled snap, and by the time he looked up, the defenders were closing in on him.
You think they try to do a big play here as the clock runs down?
It's worth the risk. Why not?
All right, so Witzel.
Again, down the right side, if anything.
He's looking that way, and it's just a little dunk-off pass there. That is to Quintana, and Quintana, the speedy little running back, gets taken out of bounds, and that is going to be it for the first half of action here in the gold medal game between British Columbia and Saskatchewan. The visitors from BC are up 10-8 through 2 quarters. We'll be back with great second half action right here on Football Canada's YouTube page, presented by our friends at Sports Canada TV. And welcome back to McLeod Stadium as we kick things off here in the second half between British Columbia and Saskatchewan. Gold medal game of the U16 West Challenge. Andrew Watt and Adam Forsyth here with you, and what is going to be a doozy of a second half. But Force, we had a pretty good first half as well. 10-8, maybe a little low scoring, but we saw a lot of big plays from a lot of big players.
Yeah, it was a bit touch and go in the first quarter, then plenty of excitement in that 6-minute stretch in the second quarter. But looking at some of the stats, BC receiving yards, 62 yards, all pretty much led the way by number 14, Chapman. 4 catches for 55 yards. So he amounted for all but 7 of BC's receiving yards. 84 yards on the Sasky side of things, 2 for 43 yards from Rogan Pipko, number 1.
As Chase Witzel hands it off there.
So you just mentioned Witzel, his quarterback stats from the first quarter, 5 for 10, 62 yards. Those early throws kind of cost him in the first quarter where he was overthrowing his target, settled down in the second quarter. Saskatchewan, on the other hand, we saw offense from everybody. They had 3 quarterbacks in. We had Nolan Urain, 2 for 3, 37 yards. Number 15, Kyron Holmfin, 3 for 6, 25 yards interception. And then Zaid O'Shaughnessy, number 8 coming in. Very simple, 1 for 1, 22 yards and a TD. Not too bad.
I like that completion rate there. As Witzel now swings it out and gets it to his receiver, but he can't hold on to it. That's Russell Ron Aranaza out of Terry Fox secondary. The Maple Ridge product can't hold on to it.
So it brings up a 3rd and 9. Back to the first half stats. BC overall with a net of 88 yards. Saskatchewan 107. Only 4 first downs for BC. Well, Saskatchewan had 7. So by the numbers, Saskatchewan outplaying them doesn't really affect on the scoreboard. But as for the penalties, I was actually surprised. I thought it would be more penalties. 7 penalties for BC that amounted to 50 yards.
Yeah, BC just continues to shoot themselves in the foot. 2 penalties. We saw that against Alberta as well in the semifinal game, but they were able to prevail in that one, and they are still up in this one, as mentioned, 10-8. They are the visitors here, although we are here in Langley, BC, because they are the second seed going into this showcase.
Yeah, gold medal on the line the last time that this happened, in 2019, and these 2 teams faced off against each other. It happened up in Kamloops, but this one taking place in Langley. And, it's lived up to the hype of a gold medal game, and you can expect if it remains close like this, a 2-point game currently, things are going to get very tense down the stretch.
And BC losing out in that game to Saskatchewan as Elaine Penner there for Saskatchewan runs into a wall. And that is number 52, Gavin Christensen, the 5'11", 200-pound linebacker out of Belmont.
Yeah, the Sauk native, a little spirited, trying to get the boys fired up. We were talking in the first half about how BC came out with such swagger on Sunday night against Alberta. They were getting the fans pumped up. They've kind of reined it in a little bit. They don't seem to have quite that confidence, that cockiness to them. They still have the lead, but Saskatchewan's pressing.
Uren under center now, and he throws it up. It's a bit of a wobbler, but Adrian Reume able to pick it up, and look at this, looking to make a house call. Almost does it as well, gets it down to the 2-yard line. What a run there by Reume.
Wow, a 55-yard reception for Reume. He was just shaking defenders off left and right. He was a prominent name from the game against Manitoba on Sunday, and we haven't really mentioned his name, but we have now as he has jumped off the page with a very impressive run. I don't know how he managed to sneak in behind the BC defense on that near sideline. Kind of just went up there, parked himself about 20 yards off the line, and hauled it in all those yards after the catch. Very impressive. So just like that, Saskatchewan, much like we saw on Sunday, they exploded the second half. They're looking to do so again.
So Reume is out wide, but they decided just to take this one themselves. Can they get it in? Doesn't look like they did. I don't see the signal from... No, they did not.
Penner getting it down to about the 1-yard line, it looks like.
A name that we have not heard much from today is Sullivan Smith Windsor for Saskatchewan. He had 5 catches, 133 yards in that win over Manitoba, so we'll keep our eye out for him, number 81.
He was a common target of Nolan Urain, and the 2 of them just have not linked up so far today.
All right, let's see if Urain can do this himself. As he hands it off to Penner. Penner punches it in. That's going to be a touchdown for Saskatchewan.
Penner breaking through with the touchdown, and There you go. That's what happens when you let Saskatchewan stick around for a little bit too long. Their offense starts exploding, and that was very quickly 6 points.
Penner with 10 carries, 68 yards in that win versus Manitoba. Didn't punch it into the end zone, so he gets a touchdown there, and it goes up, or Saskatchewan, that is, goes up 14-10, looking to make it 15. Snap is out, and 2 men were there really quickly, but they're able to get the single digit. So there you have it, 15-10 now for Saskatchewan. 8:20 to go here in the third quarter of the gold medal game of the U16 West Challenge.
Flashing back to the semifinal showdown against Manitoba when they were very narrowly going to go into halftime with a deficit. They tied it up 14-14, and then entering the second half, they just exploded with offense, and they just kind of put the pedal to the metal, put their foot on the throats of Manitoba, and very early on, it's very eerie, the reminiscence feel of this, where BC just did not have an answer for them on that drive.
Just feels like BC is not going to be able to be that easy to get over, though, and I know Saskatchewan is the reigning champs. They did win this last game back in 2019, 21-7. So starting to see a little bit more offense in this game than we did back in that game a few years ago in Kamloops. But you're absolutely right. BC is going to have to counterpunch here now, because Saskatchewan is going to continue to start throwing haymakers.
Yeah, we essentially need to see what Witzel did in the second quarter. That we need that for the rest of the game if BC wants to put points up on the board, as they've been pretty resistant to using Brandon Bailey. But it is a nice option to fall back on if they want to bring Bailey in for a play or two.
Aranaza picking up that kickoff there, as BC will start from what looks like their own 33-yard line.
This is a big series for BC, a nice attempt to answer back. And on the Saskatchewan side of things, I'm sure they're looking to lock things down. Our player's been pretty quiet so far. Who dominated game one? Our boy, the old name team, Nitro Ishana.
He has not been a factor yet in this game.
No, he hasn't been on the field for as many snaps.
We see him here. He got the edge there, but he just ran by the player. As that's number 18, Chase Amos, out of Belmont Secondary with the run. And Nitro Ice might have had a little too much nitro there. Yeah,
kind of blowing past him temporarily. Maybe that's one of those players that the BC coaching staff identified pre-game scouting. Like, all right, they had a chance to watch. That's another factor, right? Yep. The scouts and the coaching staff had a chance to watch all these players in action on Sunday. So now you kind of know, all right, this guy goes on the outside, this guy does this, and you make your necessary adjustments.
Witzel out of the shotgun, throws it over the middle. Great pass, great reception there as well, as it's hauled in by Aranaza. The 5'6", 145-pound receiver playing much bigger than his size there.
There's the zip you're hoping for on those Witzel passes, where it is low, it's into his chest.
And those are the ones where you better look up and be ready, because somebody is going to be hitting you quickly.
That's the commitment to winning a gold medal game,
Absolutely.
Right? You're cutting across the middle. You know you're going to take the hit. And even that being in the back of your mind sometimes leads to some fumbly fingers, but not in that situation.
A lot of pride on the line as we see Nitro Ice Hannah. There he is! There he is! We saw him breaking through, and he gets a little bit of help there by number 64, Lucien Verity, but that was all set up by Nitro Ice.
What a play across the outside edge there, just sneaking in. He timed that perfectly in motion, crossed the playing field right at the snap, and just took him down. There is an injured BC player down on the field right now.
And that's the quarterback. That's Chase Witzel. So we saw him a little banged up early on after he got tossed out of bounds there, and just picks up his mouth guard, and maybe a little bit of frustration there from Witzel.
Yeah, kind of got up favoring that left leg a little bit, but he's coming back to the sideline, and reading the body language there, he is fired up. He is none too pleased. So Brandon Bailey,
the Gold Dome.
Yeah, the Golden Dome with the golden arm, or the golden run at least. And
well, from what we saw earlier, and again, it was a pick, but boy, did it look like some arm strength there for number 4, Brandon Bailey, the Vancouver College product, 5'9", listed at 115, but I got a feeling that's a typo.
Well, he needs some golden arm strength here. 2nd and 15 on the BC 45.
All right, he's got a man in motion now as he steps back. Bailey surveys things, and just a broken play there. looking for Chase Amos, but Amos had his back turned when the ball was coming his way.
Yeah, that's kind of a product of where you're a little rusty.
Yep.
You've been out for a few plays, and you kind of come in and you're not on the same page. And unfortunately, it's not going to work out. 3rd and 15 punting unit coming on. So BC remains down 5 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and they are giving the ball back to Saskatchewan.
So Thompson will kick this one away. Saskatchewan getting set to receive there. That's number 26 in the backfield, Liam Platt. As Thompson, whoa, it looks like maybe a fingertip or two on that one as it just goes out into Saskatchewan territory, but they're going to have it basically at midfield, right at their 54-yard line. Not the best kick there from Thompson, but I think maybe some fingertips got on that one.
Yeah, Saskatchewan with a lot of pressure there, and you can see that Thompson's kind of pleading his case to the referee as to what happened there. Yeah, see his arms in the air. He's none too pleased with that one. But that was a Saskatchewan just breaking through that BC offensive line. And as a result, Saskatchewan taking over at midfield, looking to pad their lead.
You ran back under center for Saskatchewan. So between him and Homfa,
this might be a Sullivan Smith-Windsor situation right here on the near side.
There you go. Looking for number 81.
No,
goes right there to number 80. That's Riom. And Riom gets tackled hard, though. Listen, he might have got a couple of yards, but he paid for it.
I like that route, though. Right across the middle. You know he's going to get contact, showing off his speed. We saw him shake a couple tackles to set up the last Saskatchewan touchdown. Nice little play there. But, yeah, apparently Uran has a new favorite talent.
So, again, we haven't seen much from Smith-Windsor, if anything, really.
Yeah, very quiet today so far. Pipco we've mentioned a couple of times.
So they hand it off there, and he runs it right up the gut. That's going to be a first down as Braden Wolf, the Regina Minor football product, 5'10", 165-pound running back, moving the sticks.
Ow!
Yes, love it. Oh, no. Looks like this one.
Did I just waste my...
Yeah. Oh, no, it's going to be against
good.
BC, so the howl stands.
Horse collar penalty.
There you go.
If I wasted my wolf call,
Yes.
I would have been very upset there. So again, shocker. It's been the theme of the last 2 games for BC. Penalty troubles are eating them alive right now, and this one could prove costly. A fresh set of downs now on the BC 28. Nolan Urain looking to capitalize.
So he's got Wolf with him in the backfield, and he hands it off once again. And he runs into a wall of orange there. That's Kieran Hamilton and Brady Schutz on the tackle.
Nice little play by the BC defense. They got to lock this thing down. And, yeah, nice to hold him there to about a 3-yard gain, it looks like. We'll see what Urain is dialed up here.
So second and what looks to be about 7. As Urain now out of the shotgun once again. Looks left. And this could be picked.
Ooh,
yeah, right into the hands of number 11. That's Max Lang out of Duncan. And he makes the most of that. First time we've called his number his name, and a big play from Lang.
Biggest mistake of the game from Saskatchewan so far. The intended target there was the name we just mentioned, Sullivan Smith-Windsor, but it sailed well over his head, and that was an easy pick for Lang. 3 BC defensive players in that area, so that was a high-risk throw, and it cost them dearly. So very good scoring chance out the window, BC taking over, and it looks like, there we go, yeah, Witzel is back in, so he's shaking off whatever was hurting him earlier, and he's back under center.
He's a baller, Witzel, as he works out of the shotgun as well. And look at this, man, got shot out of a cannon, but guess what, though? That defense of Saskatchewan just continues to do work on Witzel.
Yeah, that's a big sack. And, yeah, he's limping through the pain right now. Very slow to get up. Cannot put a lot of pressure on his left. Kind of shake it off there. But this is a gutsy performance from Witzel. But at some point, you got to decide, is it worth Bailey's kind of sitting on the sideline, ready to come in if necessary.
Number 76, Max Gooby with the tackle there.
There's another all-name team.
North Battleford, 6'2", 180, and U16, folks. So keep that in mind. Kid's still growing. So Witzel now hands it off. And again, just Saskatchewan all over them, just mauling it right now. And right now, BC's offense doesn't know what to do. Pass, run, it doesn't matter because Saskatchewan's all over it.
Yeah, Witzel on the limp a little bit and not much else clicking. So that was a very quick 3 and out for Team BC, and Saskatchewan should get pretty good field position coming up here with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, 3rd and 13, the ball in the 20, and barring a really good kick here, it looks like Saskatchewan could get themselves some good field position as Thompson gets it off, and it is a good kick. Gets it right at midfield there as it's taken in by Liam Platt, and BC able to hold them to about the 40... Yeah, but the 44-yard line.
Yeah, we got a Saskatchewan player in some pretty severe discomfort, grabbing their right knee. Trainer out on the field to tend to them. But yeah, they're in a lot of pain.
And that's number 76 that we just mentioned, Max Gooby.
Yeah, the North Battleford native.
So penalty against Saskatchewan.
Drives them back a little bit, so they'll be starting on their own 51-yard line.
So some positives there for BC as field position gets a little bit better for the visitors.
You just feel Saskatchewan just has maybe just a little bit more options.
Yeah.
I mean, you see Ty Fedek-Andrews, Sullivan Smith-Windsor, although he hasn't been prominent today, Adrian Riome, the list goes on. And then the 3 quarterback options. Rogan Pipko, another receiver in the mix. So Saskatchewan has an arsenal of weapons at their disposal as they try to pad their lead with now 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
And they got the running game going as well. Elaine Penner and, of course, Braden Wolf. Good-looking running backs for Saskatchewan. So Uren now. Up 5, 15-10, 2 minutes to go here, third quarter gold medal game. Out of the shotgun, and he's going to hand it off. That one's to Fedek-Andrews, and he's just going to pick up a couple of yards on that one.
Fedek-Andrews very quiet in the first half on Sunday, and then he exploded in the second half, a couple of key touchdowns, kind of playing more of a tight end position. He found the end zone today, partnering up with Zaid O'Shaughnessy, but he's looking to make an impact.
So 2nd and 7. And the ball on the 53-yard line, on their own 53-yard line, Saskatchewan, out of the shotgun, Uren. He's got one man in the backfield, and he hands it off to him. That's number 30, Levi Koenig. And Levi Koenig looks like he's going to get a first down. A big tackle on the play, and a guy that's generally jacked up, Gabrielle Curry, with the hit, but those sticks, they're moving.
Yeah, that's what BC needs to make a stop there. A big 2nd and 8 turning into a first down when BC needs the ball back as we approach the end of the third quarter. Now a minute left. But, yeah, for a lot of these players, I mean, gold has a nice ring to it. It's a nice resume pattern as they try to impress the college coaches.
Absolutely, as you heard from Jim Mullen, the president of Football Canada, telling us, listen, if you're interested in playing for the provincial program, well, they'll find you.
Yeah, and we've seen that in these games. There's some stars in the making here for sure, and you know that you can almost guarantee that a lot of these players will go on to have great collegiate careers both sides of the border.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people across North America watching these games who have taken notice over the last 3 or 4 days.
Probably a handful of pros that'll come out of this years from now as well. So a great showcase, some great athletes here as he calls his own number Uren and gets it up. He's inching towards that first down, but it's going to be short.
Big decision time. I think you kind of got to go for it here with this field position. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2, and this will they're going to play it safe.
They're going to play it safe. Do they just try to go for the field goal here and just perhaps maybe, or no? It looks like they're just going to punt it away.
This is where I think
that would be a big one if they were to do it.
Gold medal game, you bring in all the stops, as we saw in the bronze medal game, a little trickery in the fourth quarter. Why not run a fake here? Final play of the third quarter.
Oh, good punt there as it's fielded by Thompson, who's going to try to get outside, and he just can't beat his man, although he gives him a little how's she going? That's Riel Parangi.
Little forearm shiver there to finish things off. Maybe that'll spark the team.
Parangi getting a taste of the turf there.
So BC down 5 with a quarter to go, trying to complete the comeback, capture the gold on technically home soil, even though they are the away team for this showdown.
15-10, so there's still a lot of game to be played here. 12 minutes to go and still close. But you're absolutely right. BC's got to get something going. They've left too many series on the turf now.
I think this is where Nitrois comes to play. This is where he showcases his skills. He's on the kind of the far right side of the field.
We'll see. Linebacker.
Nitro Ice Hannah. I need to know for sure if that can't be his real name, but I kind of hope it is his real name. And I want to meet his parents if his name is Nitro Ice Hannah.
They're American Gladiators, the parents, right? They have to be.
I need to see this kid's passport.
They have to be. All right, see if Witzel can get his offense going here as he gets in out of the shotgun once again. And, big bull rush coming at you. But look at that hit right there. Liam Platt just splats who's that, number 5? Dante Meyer. Wow, what a hit there from Platt.
Yeah, Platt making a big impact. Kind of pretty quiet in game number 1, but he is making a big impact here. And, time ticking down on the line. Still plenty of time, only a 5-point difference. It is a one-score game, but a 2nd and 12 deep in your own zone. Do you take the risk here throwing a pass, or do you kind of keep it to the ground and just play a game of punt control? They're wide. They've set it up wide that they're going to throw.
Yep. Heavy on the left side there, but
There's
Witzel
Nitro
looks
Ice.
That way, then scrambles to his right. There is going to be a flag on the play. It's up in the air, and who's got the interception? It's Nitro Ice Hannah. Can he take it to the house for the pick 6? He cannot. But there was a flag on the play. We'll have to see exactly what this is all about.
I'm pretty sure that'll be holding against BC in the backfield. Then Nitro Ice spinning off the tackle, runs all the way across the field. There you go.
Wow, you're absolutely right. So what a play there. It was tipped up off the receiver's hands, right into the breadbasket of number 41, and Nitro Ice Hannah takes it down right to the 2-yard line, just a 3-yard line, and Saskatchewan in great field position here as they look to add to their 5-point lead.
We just were saying his name, and of course he does something spectacular, making us look good, Wadden. But how about that? He was pressuring the quarterback, and that was, I think, the holding call on him. The pass is thrown, and somehow he is now 10 yards downfield intercepting the pass. How is this kid doing this?
He's a baller, that's why. So they hand it off. Humphen in under center, and they can't punch it in as a couple of BC defenders were there, including Brady Schutz.
Yeah, nice stop on Penner. Already has 1 touchdown this game and a very similar goal line run. So this is a big 2nd and 3. Yeah, ball on the 3-yard line.
2nd down and goal here for Saskatchewan.
I think you got to go back to Penner on this one, I think.
They got 3 guys in the backfield. You're right. Penner's there deep. And it looks like they're going to go left. Yep, the blockers go that way. But look at this.
Great play by BC.
Wow, BC's defense. That's Gabrielle Curry and Gavin Christensen that are in on the stop. They're jacked up about it. And looks like they're going to be able to hold the visitors to a field goal, the home side to a field goal here. And that's a big play for BC. After that interception, to be able to keep it out of their end zone and, perhaps just allow 3 points, maybe not even the 3. We'll have to see here as Ty Gorniak sets it up. It's a little chip shot there. Yep, that's about a 56-degree wedge right through.
Yeah.
That better than your 60, right?
I'm a 56 guy. Right. Yeah, I can pull those off. But yes, a nice little chip shot. But that was such a clutch play. That might have been a game saver for BC.
Absolutely.
Not let them get in the end zone there. Penner had nowhere to go. He was met by a wall of BC, Team BC players led by Christensen, who I like this spunk of his. He wasn't really a focal point on the weekend against Alberta, but every time he's made a hit today, he has popped up, made eye contact with the crowd, tried to fire them up. See, it responds. They feed off his energy. Now we got some BC chants going on.
So they're down just 8. It's 18-10, Saskatchewan. here at McLeod Stadium in Langley, BC, the U16 West Challenge presented by Football Canada and hosted by BC Provincial Football Association.
Gold medal on the line. I like the sound of that.
Yes.
The players know it. Like I was saying earlier, like this is a big resume. We have these players' bios, and there's a lot of like team MVP and stuff. Well, no, it sounds even better on your bio. Gold medalist.
Well, look how happy the Alberta players, as you mentioned, as we were between games, seeing some of the Alberta players just jacked up at the fact that they won the bronze medal. Well, you know you're going to be wanting to win gold here as well. Silver's not so bad, but you know you want the gold. So Brandon Bailey will be under center now, so we'll keep an eye on that. He's got Ryder Quintana to his left, 3 men in motion.
Chapman's
and little fake there. Bailey, though, gets taken down right up the middle. Big hit there. Keenan Struthers from Regina with the tackle.
Struthers, team Saskatchewan U16 product. He's played football for 8 years, been with the Riffle Royals, and that ruffles the feathers of Brandon Bailey.
5'10", 195 pounds. First time we said his name, I believe, in the 2 games. So let's see if Bailey can get this offense going. Chase Witzel, perhaps sidelined due to injury. We'll have to keep an eye on that. As Bailey pitches it off to Quintana, the little running back, he's got wheels. He tries to get to the outside, but he can't. And he gets dogpiled by the Saskatchewan defenders. And Nitro Ice Hanna was in on that tackle as well.
Yeah, I think Platt might have been over there as well, 2 of the defensive stars for Saskatchewan, and that can't feel good being driven into the sidelines like that. But not a lot of success for Bailey, not a lot of success for Witzel. What did BC do here with 8 minutes left on the clock? 3rd and 7. Punt team comes on, and Saskatchewan's getting the ball back, looking to pad their lead.
And BC just looking a little lost on offense right now as they try to figure out the Saskatchewan defense that's just been setting the tone, as Thompson had to get that one off. He had a couple of Saskatchewan players in his face as it's fielded there by Platt, and he takes it inside BC territory. Going to be starting somewhere around the 45, 44-yard line.
That was almost like a little side leg kick, if that makes sense, like a sidearm throw. Hands up and down, and he kind of went right down the middle, reminding me like a Patrick Mahomes throw across the middle. But yeah, really impressed to get that off because the Saskatchewan special teams were bearing down.
And the spot goes back a little bit further than what I anticipated, so it'll be on the BC's 47-yard line, as Homefan is still under center now. Hands it off, that's Penner, and Penner runs it up the gut and runs into a wall of BC defenders. Yes. They're able to get the stop there, but he picked up some positive yards.
And Saskatchewan will take that, just simply eating away at the clock. Again, still just rotating. No real set design here between Nolan Urain and Kyron Homfen. They clearly have design on the sidelines that we're not privy to, but there doesn't really seem to be a rhyme or reason.
Zados honestly might be able to just put his feet up. He came in, made the one toss, got the touchdown. Hey, I'm good. And they hand it off once again to Penner. But right there on the tackle is Austin Relova. And he's been a disruptor there, number 51, out of Rutland.
Yeah, it's the Rutland theme. There's so many of them on this roster that have just been standouts, and you can really pick them out on your TV screens. They got the baby blue helmets, then that trim, but it's very much an Okanagan-heavy roster. Kelowna Secondary School, Rutland Senior Secondary School. They're kind of all spread out there, and they've been really pacing this team.
So Ty Gorniak to punt it away. Oh, it's a good one, too, as Reed Thompson looked to field that one, and it's going to go down in the end zone there and just take the knee.
That's key. Makes it a 9-point game, kind of takes it out of that one-score territory.
Boy, what a punt there by Ty Gorniak. And, yeah, you're absolutely right. That takes it to a 2-score game now, 19-10 for Saskatchewan. That could play big here as we go down here in the final quarter.
Yeah, just eating away at the clock. That is the name of the game for Saskatchewan. They can sense, they can feel that gold medal. The trophies on display, too, as if to lure the players in, just right in front of the broadcast booth and in front of the home crowd. All the trophies on display That's what the players want. That's what they get. They ran past it as they came back from halftime. So they've seen what the hardware looks like, and they want it badly.
Do you dare touch it on your way by?
Ooh, I feel like a guy like Nitro Ice might.
All right, Chase Witzel now back under center for BC, so he looks to be okay as he hands off the ball, runs it up there. It looks like he got about 4 yards on the play, but BC's going to have to start to chunk into this as Cash Amos, that is, on the run. But BC's going to have to start to get some chunk plays here because the time is ticking away as we get to 5:40 on the clock. This will be 2nd and 6 with the ball on the 39.
Yeah, and this is really where BC struggled to convert all day today is the second down and 6, 5, 4-yard plays. This is a big one.
I'll see if number 14, Matt Chapman, perhaps comes into play, but no, they hand it off once again. And this time just a few yards. It's just not enough as number 81 was in on the tackle. That's number 91. That's Royce Rathgerber, the Yorkton Gritters product.
It looks like they're leaving the offense on the field, which is a big decision on their own 41-yard line. It is a 3rd and long.
No, hold on. Let's see. They came out. Nope, they're going back in. So
this is a lot of.
This is massive here for BC, and I'll tell you what. I am looking to my right if I'm Chase Witzel at number 14, perhaps cutting across. And no, he's not. They're going deep ball instead, and it is incomplete. Yes, incomplete pass there. And boy, I'll tell you what, Force. I mean, I know I was saying they need some big chunk plays, but in that play right there, when you're going for it, you only needed 4 or 5 yards, maybe a little cross seam from Chapman. They had it all game. They didn't look for it. They went for the big play, and it blew up in their face.
Yeah, it's a bold play call by head coach Richard White there, and that's a lot of faith in Witzel to land on a target when he's really kind of struggled to do that. It was a decent throw, but the coverage was good. The receiver having to kind of twist their body along the sideline and ultimately not coming down with it. So tough play for BC, and now they're in real crunch time.
So home fan is still under center for Saskatchewan. And he hands it off, and he is lit up right there as Koenig gets chewed up by a wall of orange.
There's our boy Christensen, though, fiery. He's been probably the defensive star.
Yeah.
For the Lions. They got the orange colors.
I've almost done it a couple times. Trust me, I have almost done it a couple times.
But yeah, he's definitely been the defensive star, at least of the second half for Team BC, and he's doing his best to keep the BC crowd in it.
So tackle for a loss there. 2nd and 11. Ball in the 43. You got 1 man back, 3 in motion. And looked like there might be a pitch play there, but home fan decides to call his own number, and a smart play at that. Does he have enough to get the first down? We'll have to see. I think he's short.
Very close. I bet a 3rd and 2 situation coming up, depending where they get the spot. And BC's just getting beat up here. You just watch them. They're all popping up every time, limping out of it. And there's another Leo down. There's 3 Team BC players kind of limping around. So yeah, 3rd and 2 on the 40 or on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, it looks to be on the 34, and we don't have the use of our telestrator there, so tough to see the number for the player that went down.
Yeah, and there's the other Team BC member kind of just limping off the field right now.
Looks like it's number 26, Peyton Briere, the linebacker out of Prince George. This is big here for Saskatchewan, but I like this play call because you're deep enough anyway, right? Up 9.
Yeah.
If they could get this and keep that clock moving as it ticks away at 3:08 to go here. Honfan, though, decides, I want to go to the house, and he can't, though. Looking for Pipco. Boy, that would have been the dagger there. So, like I said, with where BC was in terms of field position. I think it was a play that they could go for. I don't know about you, though, Forrest. I probably would have put it on the ground, try to eat up a bit more of that clock, and perhaps get those easy couple of yards.
Yeah, I mean, if he puts that on the spot, Pipko's gone because Pipko had his man beat, but it's just a matter of hitting your targets. As for BC,
I want to play it safe. You're looking for the dagger, the kill shot, right?
I've been the one pushing trick plays.
All right,
and stuff.
gotcha.
Like, come on.
Gotcha.
I know there's a gold medal on the line, and these guys put their blood, sweat, and tears in this, but I want some entertainment. I want some trick plays.
Well, Chase Witzel now with Ryder Quintana in the backfield, and got a little help there. He throws it away right into the hands of number 37. Tregan Green Edmonds, we have not said that name over the last 2 games. That was the easiest interception that the young man out of Saskatoon will get in his career.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned his name a lot, but he certainly picked the right time to make an appearance because that is a clutch interception and definitely one of the easier ones. Unfortunately, just a bit of a panic throw there, and BC kind of falling apart at the seams. BC employed against Alberta what I thought was a great strategy of those little pitch plays. We
haven't even seen that one yet.
Haven't seen it once from BC. We actually saw Alberta use it in their game. Like, they took it out of BC's playbook.
Yeah.
Very weird that they have not even tried it this game.
And they haven't even tried. Like, you'd think that maybe Saskatchewan would prepare for it, and maybe that's why they want to get away from it. But it worked so well against Alberta, and they haven't even shown it yet tonight as Koenig is able to pick up some yardage there, and that just feels like that just might be it for BC as they got a player down on the field. And
yet again, they're just walking wounded at this point, unfortunately, with 2:21 on the clock.
And that's Rylova, who goes down on the knee, and Rylova's been a big player for them in this game.
So essentially, you got to limit Saskatchewan to a field goal here. It's still a 2-score game at that point, and you need to hustle with 2:20 left on the clock. Pretty exciting for Saskatchewan, though, if you know you're so close to glory.
Yep.
That makes that Ryder plane ride home that much sweeter. That's a good way to head into the summer.
Saskatchewan trying to win back-to-back U16 West challenges here. They beat BC in 2019. Can they do it again here in 2022?
And what a difference. That first quarter we saw Saskatchewan. They entered as the favorites, and they did not play like the favorites in quarter 1 on Sunday against Manitoba. We thought, well, maybe this is a bit of a different Saskatchewan team, but they've turned it up since then, and they have not let up, and maybe they're about to put the punctuation mark on this one.
Humfan under center now, and he swings it out, hands it off. That's Koenig, excuse me. And Koenig just picks up a few yards, and this is what they should do now. 3rd down, just let that clock go.
BC will probably start burning some timeouts, you would assume. They have 2 left.
Bring the wedge out once again. You struggle with the 60 degree, is that what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, you've golfed with me before. You know I can't chip.
Well, we know they can here in Saskatchewan because they've had a few chip shot field goals and they're able to convert with them. Let's see, though. Humfan is coming out, though. No, they want to just go for the absolute kill shot here. Let's see if he calls his own number. Oh, no.
They blew it down before it happened. Now,
we got a procedure. Oh, is it a timeout? What do we got here?
Okay, it's Saskatchewan. I was going to really question if BC called a timeout there because they let about 20 seconds run off the clock. And if you're, it was actually a little bit surprising that BC didn't use a timeout there. Like they would have had about 2:05 left on the clock. They still have 2 timeouts, so they're clearly saving it for their possession. And they switched it up. So Saskatchewan going for the field, looking for a 12-point lead if successful.
And Gorniak kicks it up, and it is good. So they extend the lead to 12. It's now 22-10 for Saskatchewan. $1:40 to go here in the gold medal game, and this hill is going to be massive for BC to climb. We saw some theatrics in the last game But down 2 scores here, Force, with a minute 40 to go. They're going to have to get a quick strike and then hope to get an onside kick.
Yeah, it's not just a mound or a hill to climb. It's a mountain at this point. They need a lot of talent, a lot of luck, a lot of success, and they need some Saskatchewan mistakes along the way. They still do have 2 timeouts, so they can definitely utilize that at some point, but the sea of green in the stands at McLeod Stadium can sense they are closing in on a gold medal victory.
So here we go, a minute 40 to go. Chase Witzel, once again, back under center for BC, the Kelowna secondary product. No, excuse me, it's Brandon Bailey out there now, Vancouver College product. So he was able to do it in the last game. Can he do it this game as he swings it out there to Quintana? Quintana now takes a shot, keeps going. The little man took a big hit there, was able to keep moving forward, but they got to keep moving forward, BC, as that clock is ticking away.
Let's see if they utilize a timeout here. It doesn't appear they're going to.
Not just yet. They still have both.
2nd and 6.
See Bailey now. See if we see that cannon of an arm. Oh, looks for it. Decides to call his own number and just take it in. He's going for the sideline. Smart play there.
Ooh,
Nitro Ice Hana. That's not a smart play by the linebacker. And he's hooking up. What? Me? Huh? Yeah, that's right.
A little overzealous there, and that is going to cost them. So it's a fresh set of downs and moving it up.
Boy, little overzealous is right.
And sometimes you see that with the star players just sensing that they can get that last little lick in.
Yeah, that adrenaline just keeps going. And they say play to the whistle, but when the whistle goes and you're out of bounds, that's going to be a penalty.
So now into Saskatchewan territory, excuse me. Last time I do that at this game, I've promised. Well, I can't promise that. I'll probably mess it up again.
Correct yourself with a minute to go here with Brandon Bailey now out of the shotgun, that is. And it's a bad snap, but he's able to haul it in. He's got a man in it, and he just dumps it off. Yeah. I mean, he had a man breathing on his heels. There was Ethan Johnson out of Moose Jaw. 6 foot, 225-pound lineman was there, but I think he might have just got a little too worried on that one because I think he still had a play to make.
Yeah, Johnson with a nice little pressure, though, and that's all it takes sometimes. The red helmet, green jersey bearing down on you. You sense it from behind. You don't want to kind of line up to throw it, and it gets knocked out of your hands for a fumble. Brings up a 2nd and 10, and time an enemy of Team BC.
So Bailey now out of the shotgun. He's got 3 guys to his right, 3 to his left, and he goes for the deep ball. The intended receiver is number 23, Kareem Muhammad, and he can't haul it down. No jump man there from 23.
Oh, nice attempt by Muhammad, though. He kind of was... It was a 2-on-1 situation, plus he had to get the ball and keep his feet in bounds. You could tell he kind of glanced down at the last second to try and keep that feet in and haul that ball in. Just wasn't meant to be, but a very nice effort for the Richmond product.
Yeah, it looks like some frustration here from the BC side as a bunch of them were talking to the referee there. Brandon Bailey still in the game.
This is the game, 3rd and 10.
1:06 to go. Saskatchewan leading 22-10. Bad snap. Bailey just bounces on the ball, and yeah, that is going to be it. As Bailey gets the poor snap and really nothing he can do with it, and Saskatchewan up 12 with time on their side. 1:03 to go in this game, and you know what's going to happen here? They're going to be able to just get into victory formation and
yeah, it's pretty ironic that we are right across the street from the Langley Airport as planes. I don't know if they are showing on the screen of your screens, but as the plane flies in, BC's chance at a gold medal kind of flies away.
Oh, look at that. Well done. That's why they pay you the big bucks there, Forrest.
Big bucks. Down to the final few snaps.
Hoffman hands it off, and yeah, that one is going to do it right there. About a yard short of the first down. The handoff going to Braden Wolf, the Wolfman, taking it up. 2nd and 2, 2nd and 1, that's 2nd and 2 for Saskatchewan. And yeah, that clock is ticking away here.
Saskatchewan The green jerseys have been confusing me all game, but they're feeling golden right now.
Absolutely. This is massive as they hand it off. And great play there by the BC defense. So comes up at third down. Is BC going to call a timeout?
Doesn't look like it.
34 seconds to go and no timeout called from BC just yet.
Just going to let it run down.
They have it. And the clock is ticking now. Homfen is looking over at the sideline. But that clock is still ticking away.
Saskatchewan brings the clock all the way down to what I assume was 1. With 13 seconds left on the score clock. Calls the timeout, lets them savor the victory. Brings on...
Yeah, the punt team here, and Ty Korniak, who's got a big boot. He can kick it away. We've seen it. And if you're Reed Thompson, you're probably going to want to go back a few steps.
Yeah, you can tell he's backtracking right now. He learned from last time when it sailed over his head.
Korniak's got a couple of singles for them already in this game. Oh, and it's a bad snap, and he just has to jump on top of it. So BC will get the ball back with 9 seconds to go. Down 12. I mean,
miracles can happen.
They can. Will they here? Highly doubtful. We'll have to see how this plays out.
We did hear that this telecast being shown at Mosaic Stadium. The fans
loving it,
cheering on the Saskatchewan faithful. And you could sense in the crowd the sea of green really
they're feeling
getting ready to party.
You got to love they got the signs going as well. You hear some cowbells out there.
There's a little kid in a full green spandex suit.
Oh, the Green Men have come out. I love those guys.
Making an appearance.
There you go. Brandon Bailey now out of the shotgun. And he whips it over the middle to Matt Chapman, who, by the way, I don't think we've seen enough of here in this second half for BC. He was a beast in the first half, but BC's offense just could not get it going, and defense definitely is what hindered that.
Yeah, Saskatchewan's defense, led by Nitro Hannah, kind of stepping up a little bit and just causing way too many headaches. Witzel clearly is injured and is trying to kind of power through. BC calling a timeout with just 6 seconds left to kind of regroup, but this is Saskatchewan's game.
So 6 seconds to go. BC down 22-10.
We see Alberta starting to gather on the sidelines as they'll be receiving their bronze medals in short order as well.
Manitoba to our left as well, as they've stuck around to celebrate with the other players.
What a fun series.
Absolutely.
What a showcase over Sunday and tonight. It's been phenomenal to see these players. And you know, we were saying you could bet that there's going to be a couple of these kids making the CFL one day. We'll be cheering them on.
So Brandon Bailey just whips it back to Jacob Eberle, and Jacob Eberle throws it up, and it's caught there by Kareem Mohammed. But that is going to do it as Saskatchewan makes it back-to-back U16 West Challenge gold medals as they top BC 22-10 here from McLeod Stadium in Langley. Congratulations to Saskatchewan on yet another victory and yet another gold medal in what we saw was some fantastic football over this last week.
Yeah, valiant effort by BC, but Saskatchewan was definitely the better team tonight, the more deserving team to win. They had the better stats, and they are walking away with a gold medal. Just a more complete team overall, and no fault of BC's, but had better receiving and running back depth. And then the three different quarterbacks. I mean, when you can have a third-string quarterback come in and throw a touchdown strike on their one pass of the game, that is a recipe for gold medal. So fantastic effort from Saskatchewan, and as you mentioned, back-to-back gold medals. That's got to feel good for the province.
Fantastic job done by the BC Provincial Football Association hosting this, and incredible effort from Football Canada for putting this all together. Many thanks to Jim Mullen for joining us in the booth. Want to thank Sports Canada TV for putting this production together. For Adam Forsythe, I'm Andrew Wadden. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take in the sights and the sounds of the gold medal here as it gets handed out to Saskatchewan, the silver medal to British Columbia, and, of course, the bronze medal to Alberta. Thanks for listening, everybody, right here on Football Canada's YouTube page, presented by Sports Canada TV.